So for my TED Talk, I'm going to talk about how people are influenced and encouraged by the media, particularly in law enforcement and crime in the United States. So in 2013, America faced the Sandy Hook Elementary School tragedy, in which a 20-year-old named Adam Lanza killed 20 children and 6 adults. So this was broadcasted on every news station and led to an uproar from civilians who demanded that new safety precautions be put into place in schools so that it would prevent a similar shooting from happening again. However, since 2013, over 200 school shootings have taken place in the United States. This means that there is nearly one a week, and before Sandy Hook, these kind of numbers were unheard of. It makes you question if some of these criminals sought fame or if they would have ever considered the idea of a school shooting if the media in America had not publicized the disaster so heavily. For this next topic, data was hard to find, but I think most people who live in America will understand what I am talking about. It seems anytime I turn on a news channel, the media is trying to expose some sort of racial issue. It's undeniable that news channels show more police shootings on African Americans than whites. I'm not saying that blacks are not unfairly targeted by law enforcement, however, media shows these shootings exponentially more often than the killings of whites. Why? Does the media want to fuel racial tension that has grown more and more in the past few years? Presenting these killings simply creates more and more protesters and paints a bad image on the law enforcement agency as a whole. Next, more recently, the news has been talking about the Civil War statues that are located around America. In Durham, North Carolina, 7 protesters were arrested for tearing down a Confederate monument, which sparked others to demand that these statues be taken down. This again was shown all over the news. My question to you is, if the media didn't once again make a huge deal about these statues, would people really see the monuments as racist? Or would they simply walk past the statues like people have for 50 plus years? The next area that demonstrates that the law enforcement is swayed by the media is the conviction of police officers and its rise in recent years. So between 2005 and 2014, 47 officers were convicted, but in 2015 alone, 18 officers were convicted. And this makes you ask, does the media's screening of other fatal shootings by police officers lead officers to commit the act more often than they used to, even when it's not necessary? There's been a lot of cases of cops using lethal force without even attempting to subdue a person with other means. Yeah, this pretty much wraps up my TED Talk, so don't be influenced by the media.